I want to talk about buyer agency today. You're going to start hearing more and more about it. Wisconsin, we actually had a buyer agency agreement developed in 1984. We're one of the first states to have it. There are only 18 states in the United States that have buyer agency agreements. Wisconsin is one of the few states that has state forms that are approved. So you're in a state that is way ahead of the curve. It's also probably one of the most protective states for both buyers and sellers. So, but I do want to talk about buyer agency, what it means, a little bit more about it. It's probably one of the best kept secrets. The downside is our industry has done a very poor job to educating the public about it. And it is something that you're probably involved in a lot with every purchase. If not, you should be. It is there to protect you and to work with you. In Wisconsin, we need to have a contract either with the buyer or the seller. So if someone comes to me and says, I want to buy a house, but I don't want to sign that piece of paper that says buyer agency, it doesn't mean I can't work with you and sell you a home, but I'm not going to be able to give you the information that I could if we had a buyer agency agreement. Because I can do a lot of research, I can do checking, there's all kinds of things I do, and I go far and above what most agents do. So I also am going to add some things to my website. I'm going to add the buyer agency agreement, which is a multiple page form. It's going to be changing. We have some changes coming up, and I will talk about that at another time. I'm going to add a one-page explanation about buyer agency. I also hand this out to all the buyers I work with the first time. And then the WRA has a multiple page explanation on buyer agency. These will be on my website within a week. So I want you to be able to go and look at this stuff, do your own research, and make a decision. When you do decide to go and look for a house, one of the questions that's coming to me is, if I just make a call to one of the search engines and I get an agent I know nothing about, and that agent asks me to sign a buyer agency, what should I do? That's totally up to you and how to handle it. If I was a buyer and someone said, I want you to sign something, and I haven't even met this person, I think I'd feel a little uncomfortable too. I'd like to get to know the person. Let's meet, talk, maybe go out and have a cup of coffee, talk to me more about what you're going to do for me. But if I need to sign something to see the house, and I really want to see the house, how should I handle it? I'm just going to give you maybe a thought that probably is not discussed a lot in our industry, but a buyer agency is also negotiable. Anything you put on there, you can customize it. If you really want to see the house, and that is an agent that's talked to you, ask them to put on there the buyer agency is good for that house only. And you can do that. They may say no, they want it to be for all, but this gives you a chance to meet, decide if this is the person you want to date, and see if you want to move forward. If it is, great. You can always then rewrite it and write a new one to go further. But it gives you a little bit of peace of mind of I'm not trapped. I also put in my buyer agencies that it can be ended at any time in writing with a 3-day notice. I do not want someone to feel trapped. I don't want someone to feel like they're obligated and, oh my God, I'm stuck. Either we work together or we don't. And if we don't work together, that's okay. We move on. If we do, which I've never had anyone take me up on that clause, then we're successful and we find a house. So please don't be offended if an agent asks you to sign it. You do have some options. It is negotiable. But you are going to be seeing this more and more. The best thing is to find an agent that you like, interview an agent, and make sure that's an agent you want to work with. I've had that many times. A phone call, someone says, can we meet? I'd like to talk to you about buying a home and about you being our buyer's agent. And it's an interview process. I've been up against 3 or 4 other agents. And that's what you should do, because this is a big step. It's the most important purchase of your entire life. And you want it to be right, and you want to have the right person representing you. Hope it's me. If it is and you're interested, please call me, text me. I'd love to sit down. I'll even treat for the coffee.